Hello and welcome to the Microphotonics Imaging Laboratory here in Allentown, Pennsylvania. We're happy to have you with us today. Each month we're going to be going through some new tips and tricks videos to help you get the most out of your SkyScan micro CT instrument. Let's go ahead and jump into this month's tip. Hello and welcome to this month's edition of the Microphotonics Tip of the Month series. Today we're going to be continuing our discussion on image filtering, and more specifically talking about the Kuwahara filter present within CT Analyzer. So as some brief introduction for anyone joining this video for the first time, we use image filtering to clean up any noise that's present in our resulting images from micro CT imaging of our samples. So noise can be present as granular noise out in the airspace, or within the inconsistencies in pixel color within the features of our sample. So let's go ahead and take a look at our sand sample here and see what the Kuwahara filter can do for us. So if we navigate to custom processing, open our filtering menu, and we're going to go ahead and move down to the Kuwahara filter. As usual, we can decide if we want to apply this in 2D or 3D space. 2D will always be faster, but 3D will be more accurate since it takes into account pixels above and below the active slice that you're working on. Kernel, we can choose between square and round, and that's determining how we select the boundaries of the pixels that are being analyzed for each pixel being filtered. And finally, we can set a radius. So if we go ahead and set a radius of 1 and we preview this filter on the dataset, we see that we have a general improvement of noise. Here's without and with, but still a little bit left. So let's go ahead and bump that up to 2. And we see once again, now we're really getting rid of a lot of this noise on the outside of our sample. And the key feature of the Kuwahara filter is that we're doing a really good job of preserving edges. So look at these granules, and if I undo the preview and redo it, you see that while we are blurring the fine features inside the granules, the actual edges of the granules are very well retained when using a Kuwahara filter. And that's true for any sample, where the Kuwahara filter is specialized as an edge preservation filter. So, for this data set, if we weren't really interested in this fine porosity inside the granules, and instead we were just more interested in, a larger morphological kind of assessment of the particles themselves, a Kuwahara filter might be a great choice to help us reduce noise, help us improve our segmentation, and also keep the general shape and size of our particles while we get rid of the fine details inside that are beyond the scope of this investigation. As we continue to increase our radius, if we go up to 4 now, we'll see that now you see, let's compare without and with. The edges are still really well preserved. We don't see much shift at the edges, even with a value of 4, even though we're losing all of the fine details inside of our granules. And you also see this block effect that's starting to take shape, where each pixel group is now turning into these colored blocks versus the kind of individual pixels we had before. And that's a known feature of the Kuwahara filter. When you apply high values, it leads to this blocking effect. So again, if we were just looking for a gross morphometric analysis on the particles themselves, even a value of 4 may not be bad in this case, because we're not trying to keep any of the details inside the granules themselves. However, we do see we're getting some artificial bridging here in this region, where the gap is being lost as well, and in a couple other regions. So this is probably too high of a value. Go back down to 2, and we see we keep those gaps, and it looks pretty good. So this has been a quick introduction on the Kuwahara filter. More information on the mathematics behind the filter can be found in the documentation that goes along with this tip of the month. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to reach out to us here at Microphotonics. We hope this is helpful to your workflow, and we look forward to you tuning in next month for our next installment of the Microphotonics Tip of the Month series.
Hello. Thank you for watching this installment of our video tip of the month. At Microphotonics, we strongly believe that the research you do changes the world, and we're happy to support you in your efforts through these videos, through our advanced training courses, and our annual workshops. Through these efforts, we strive to make sure that you are getting the most from your Bruker Micro CT machine. If you have any questions on this video or any other questions, feel free to give us a call or send us an email. Thank you again, and have a good day.